Howdy folks, I'm Steve, K5ATA, and today is all about portable operations. So I guess it's porta potties on the air.
Honey, I don't think that's what they meant by portable.
Alright folks, as you probably figured out, it's Portable Ops Day. So today you get to see exactly how we roll when it's time to go portable here at K5ATA Caffeinated Radio. Before we get started, y'all do me a favor. Do that obligatory YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, make sure you hit the bell. Also, there's some other links down below, Amazon affiliates and Patreon. If you want to help us support the Padawans, we would definitely appreciate it. So let's check it out today on K5ATA Caffeinated Radio. All right, so first things first. You want to go portable? Got to figure out, how are you going to set up? Are you going to sit on a rock on top of a mountain, like, you know, K6ARK? Or are you going to set up in a park with a table and a chair? I'm more of a table and a chair kind of guy. So I've got my comfy chair. I've got my tactical folding aluminum table. And of course, I have the coffee. So make sure you've got all that stuff ready to go before you head out the door. All right, next up, antennas. Obviously, a radio is not any good without an antenna. So what we've done, and this is a recent change, we used to keep a different antenna with each radio, but I've gotten to where I kind of prefer different antennas at different times, depending on what's going on. So I picked up one of these on Black Friday. This is the, I think it's a 12-inch Husky tool bag. And what we've done in here is I have a length of coax, the BNC to SO239 adapter, and we started putting some of the different antennas that we like to have available. Now you'll notice I have two of the KM4 ACK end-fed half waves. One of them is the BNC connected, the other is the SO239. And that's just because sometimes we may want to have more than one radio going at a time, so we can deploy both of those. This is the Pactena Link Dipole, 20 and 40 meters. Great little antenna, and you can see they're all really compact. These are great to keep in the bag, but that's not by any means the only setup that we use. And then finally, we have the Alpha antenna, the FMJ HD antenna. This is a vertical antenna. It does a great job. However, you can see this is definitely not a backpack portable kind of antenna. Most of the POTA activations and portable ops that we do, we drive up or we pull the camper and we operate that way. If I were going to go hiking out into the middle of nowhere, or, you know, hiking a mountain or something like that, that would not be the antenna of choice. This antenna is extremely portable though for the performance you get out of it. I take this back and forth to school for the Padawans to use and whatnot, but that's another option. All right, another thing you want to make sure you've got, take a band plan. I normally have this in an electronic form, and I almost always have an issue of QST with me, which seems to always have it in there. But a friend of mine, Curtis, made this for me and laminated it, and that's handy. Shadow, hey Shadow. But that's handy to have. You always want to make sure that you're operating inside your license requirements or your limitations there. And Curtis also put this on here. This is just the alphanumeric, or the phonetic alphabet rather. Obviously I know this, but part of what I do POTA for is the outreach. And if somebody walks up and they want to get on the air and I'm, you know, they're okay with it, I want them to have some kind of reference for them to look at. So that's not a bad idea either. And then this is just some of the Q signals, because, you know, I don't necessarily remember all of them. I know the more common ones, but if somebody throws one out that you don't know, it's kind of a handy thing to have. And last, but certainly not least, is a script. Now, most of us already know exactly what we're going to say when we get out there, but like I said, I like to try to use it as an outreach thing. And so, you know, if I have a young'un that walks up and they want to get on the air, you know, I have a script for them where they can say everything it is that they need to say, and they can just read it off there, take some of the nerve out for them. And so that's a great idea too. So, you know, these are things that I normally end up scribbling down if somebody wants to show up. So Curtis, appreciate you making those for me, and these are definitely part of the kit. Okay, and so this is one of Jerica's kits. Sorry about the wind, it's a little windy out here today. So Jerica, let's show us what you got.
Okay, so first up we have the iPhone backpack, which I really like because it has a lot of space and it's really easy for Coda. And then I have this 705, which Daddy never asks to borrow, but he always does. It's my baby. And then here's my Bio battery.
Where'd you get that battery?
Uncle Mike.
Another shout out, Uncle Mike.
And then
it's all the kind of a.
here's the microphone.
Ooh, there's the wind. You got the microphone. What else you have in there?
Then I have my
Morse code.
key.
So you can out Morse code me.
By a lot.
All right, so that's one of your kits. Let's check out what your other kit is here. Let's put this one back up. All right, and so this is one of Jerica's other kits. What do you have here?
So yeah, it has my call sign on there first of all, which is cool. And then, yeah, pretty much the same setup. This is the same battery, but I just wanted to put it in here so you can show you how it all sets up and stuff. And then, so yeah, here's the mic. And then here's the G90, which is also one of my babies, but he never asked to borrow it either. I just wake up and it's gone.
Maybe you should wake up earlier.
Yeah, I like this case because it's waterproof and stuff, and then it has all the foam in there, so stuff doesn't really bounce around as easy.
And it latches nice and tight.
And it's not that heavy either, so.
Alrighty, so those are Jerica's two portable operations kits. Now let's check out the big one. All right, and last but certainly not least, this is the big boy. This is the one that, especially a lot of our POTAs are drive-up POTAs or camping POTAs, and so we got the large Apache case. And this is also the case that I used to transport this to and from school, because this is also the Padawan radio. So this is the ICOM 7300, and this is how it all fits in here. 7300 here, obviously the power cord. It's actually the battery charger there. And then that is the 40 amp hour Bio battery. All right, and one thing I wanted to point out is this is actually just a cheap little power pole distribution block. And we stick that here so that we can plug and unplug different things if we get somewhere and we want to hook up a different radio or whatever, we can run it off of the same battery. Okay, and last couple of things that you want to make sure that you've got handy. Some way to log it. So whether it's the good old-fashioned, you know, paper log, that's one option, and that we use this option quite a bit. It's tried and true. It's reliable, and the only downfall of that is when you get back, you end up having to put everything in to the computer somehow or another in order to send it. Slide that to the side for now. And this is the other option that we've started playing with, and this is just an old iPad Air, and we started messing around with doing this with Hamlog. Now, we used to carry the regular laptop with us, and we log everything at the home shack with N3FJP, and so I would just carry that with me. But the battery life on that thing, on that old laptop, isn't the best in the world. So, you know, we kind of got away from carrying it so much, and so now we're playing with doing it with Hamlog. I'm not sure how much I love Hamlog yet. I know Mike, Kate, MRD swears by it, and it's just a learning curve. I just have to get used to it, but that's what we're working with right now. Another option is
we also have a MacBook Air. And so I have RumLog on there. And it works pretty well. So I may end up carrying RumLog. Or the MacBook Air with RumLog. And then, depending what antenna you're going to use, you may want to go ahead and bring a little antenna analyzer. And I know that some of those antenna analyzers are the size of a shoebox, but this one's actually the MFJ223. Now, I believe they're out of stock right now. I imagine it's just because they're coming from China for some of the internal parts and whatnot, but they do expect these to come back in stock. And I'm just going to tell you, this thing is a lifesaver. The only downfall is it does not go above 60 megahertz. So, you know, you can't use it for your VHF, UHF stuff, but for HF and all the stuff we do for POTA, that's it. It is, well, it's smaller than my hand. Okay, it fits into a pocket. It fits into any kit bag that you want. It doesn't weigh a lot, and that way you've got a means to go ahead and, you know, if you're having some antenna issues or something, you have a way to check it out and see what might be going on with it. I'll go ahead and caution you, it does take a BNC, so make sure you've got an extra one of those BNC to SO239 connectors. We keep one in the bag, and I also keep one attached to this, just because.
And that's how we roll with portable operations at the Goodgame house.
Y'all, I am wiped. Wiped out, that is. Thank y'all for watching. 7-3. Hope to see y'all on the air.